starting off with some really cool sunshine, or should I say hot sunshine. Current temperature is 53 with highs of 71 today. And get outside, that's right. The segment is brought to you in part by Matt Thorolson's Mad Muscle Garage appraisals and consignments. Simply go to madmusclegarage.com. And at 45 today, I've got the Shark Raid owner, that's right, Ricky Model will be joining me. However, as promised, we want to talk a little bit about the Ukraine campaign. And today I have got Howie Dotson on air. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Man, a lot of great things are happening on your side, and it was a chance meeting yesterday as we were walking through the parking lot, and you kindly rolled your windows down, and I said, let's do this. We need to talk a little bit about your campaign in regards to some of the supplies that you're trying to get over there. So tell our listeners all about what you're doing.
Sure. The U.S. Army vet, first Cav 4588, trained as a Vulcan gunner, and I went to Ukraine in March, planning on supporting the Foreign Legion and training soldiers in the Stinger missile system. See, that's what our intervention unit did. God was protecting me because had I gone straight through, I would have been in those barracks that were bombed outside of Lviv. So as I was heading in, all these foreign fighters were leaving. So I had to shift gears, and with my art therapy background, I saw all these kids at the train stations, and so we did art circles at 5 different train stations. And then, so with my Army background, I looked at what was going on with the train station. They assigned this Butcher of Aleppo as the commanding general. And you look at 10 years of Syria, you know what this general is about. He's about war crimes. So I knew that that train station in Lviv had a big bullseye on it. So I went back early May to recruit folks to support buses instead of trains, because that train station had a big bullseye on it. That guy hit 2 train stations already, and I knew he was eyeing Lviv because everyone in Ukraine funnels through that train station to go to Poland. So we raised the money. We had a bus of 60 women and children. As soon as the trains came in from the occupied territory, they got off the train, we got them on a bus, we're on the road. 3 hours after we left, 5 missiles hit Lviv. So God's hedge of protection was surrounding them. And so that's been my last 2 trips. And since I've been back, we've been working on getting medical supplies. Doctors in Kyiv and Odessa have a list of things they're requesting. I've been advocating for a cargo plane. Call the White House, ask for the cargo plane. We can get that to Poland so these trauma surgeons have the tools they need so that brothers can survive. The other thing that's coming up is June 8th from 5 to 8 at the Ukrainian American Community Center. We want to collect uniforms, boots, belts, gloves. I've asked some of our law enforcement to give us bulletproof vests. These guys are fighting in civvies and tennis shoes. There's a real shortage of supplies.
So you're looking for military fatigues. For our audience right now, we're speaking to Howie Dotson. You can find him on Facebook under Howie Dotson. Friend him, and basically looking for uniforms, bulletproof vests, and a boot drive. As you just heard, they're fighting in tennis shoes, and we're talking about our brothers in Ukraine, and civilian clothes to protect their lands. What he's asking, though, is to please remove the name, the rank, the unit, branch of service, and launder them, okay? Howie continues on to say, basically, the winter is setting in, so he's preparing now to get all of these goods over there. If you are a member of the VFW or American Legion, you can coordinate with your post commander and or quartermaster and collect them at your post, and eventually, they'll be able to, pick them up or collect them as a whole. Once again, Howie was essentially saying that on June 8th, from 5 to 8 p.m., There is a drop-off at the American Ukrainian Community Center. However, you have to go to 301 Main Street Northeast in Minneapolis, St. Paul. So or Minneapolis. And the beauty about this is that, we are bringing awareness from KSIZ 99.9. And like I said earlier, it was a chance meeting Howard in the parking lot. And now that I, know this, we're going to spread the word. We want people to get out there and, take a closer look at how you can help. Perhaps you've seen 101 days of devastating fighting in the Ukraine, and perhaps it's time to give back. So, Howie, in the event that they want to get in touch with you, how will they do that?
You can reach out to me on Facebook, Howie Dotson, and I do have a GoFundMe set up for the art circle. And my next trip, hopefully will happen soon. We got, in Kharkiv, we have a trauma surgeon who needs special surgical tools. Our medical team has 3 docs, an ICU nurse, and myself. And I'm hoping to go soon, drop off those supplies in Kharkiv, and then I've asked the VA PTSD Center to translate their PTSD app into Ukrainian. So every soldier can have the same resources our vets have when they're stuck in that foxhole. Because we got guys that see stuff that no one should see. And so they need all that PTSD support. And we're doing art therapy with our veterans already. And so art therapy, art circles is an important part of the healing process. When I was in Lviv, my last trip, I did an art circle with some brothers that came back from the front. And I called him my big bear. This guy picked me up off my feet and gave me the biggest bear hug after he got some of that inside on the paper. So the art is a big part of the Ukrainian culture. It's such a natural part of, the culture, so that when you give them crayons and markers, they thrive. Those kids show such strength and resiliency. And on YouTube, you can look up Howie's Art Circles. You'll see the collages of the kids. And their pictures are so different from the media photos. I see strength and resiliency in these kids.
We have about 3 minutes left for you, and we have a passion, to help you along with this. However, I'm reading your Facebook, and read along with me, audience, because and simply go to Howie Dotson 15 to 6 minutes prior to our discussion today. He has such compassion for this that he's given up his full-time job, and to help. With the civilian evacuation and with goods that they need there. And, let's talk a little bit about, in these closing minutes, about your GoFundMe page. Let's talk about that.
So I set up a separate account, so there's no commingling, and this supports this next mission, and it supports me training and deploying teachers, MFTs, social workers. You have to be background checked, you have to have a license, and I'll plug you into clinics at the border and in Ukraine. So you could do play therapy and art circles with the children.
Okay, so let's give them all the information how they can reach out to you in the event that they, have a passion to help you as well, okay?
Yeah, my first and last name, Howard Dotson, 1970 at gmail.com. And there is a Howie's Art Circles Facebook page. So you can reach out through Messenger on Facebook. And I would love to see, I'm asking doctors from regions in Gillette, where I'm a per diem chaplain. I had my first doctor sign up to go through the clinic in Poland. If we send doctors and psychosocial support for the children, we can support these refugees, because the trauma that they're going through, the early psychological first aid is critical. That keeps the PTSD from setting in.
There you go. I admire what you're doing, Howie, and stick with it, all right?
Thank you, brother.
And
I believe synchronicities are links from God. There's a reason we met in the parking lot yesterday.
That's right. Thanks so much, man. Have a good day, okay?
Blessings. You too.
All right. Nicely done, Howie Dotson.